And you are welcome. This time is the real deal. Welcome to the Black Table. My name is Mazino Peel. I'm going to keep the intro very short because we have so much to talk about, from sports to everything that is perhaps manly. Welcome to the Black Table for a Friday. My name is Mazino, but I said that already. Let me use the opportunity to introduce to you our regulars. I'm going to start from my left. The one, the only, Mr. Okwe Oluwafemi is in the house. No anecdotes for you today because everybody knows Nigeria. Up Nigeria. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. And of course, they let him out the doghouse again. Mr. Olamide is in the house to put us in trouble one more time. He's our trend apparatus. Olamide, you're welcome.
Well, sort of.
I heard you.
That hurts.
No, it's
painful.
This is going to hurt more. Listen.
Let's talk about the one and only gang who misses out on everything that's grand, but then again never misses out on a Friday night, because this is his ground. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That was a good one now, wasn't it?
That was a good one.
That was a peace offering.
God bless
you.
So
what's
tonight,
going on?
yeah, let's be
Let's be brothers.
There has to be war because you started it.
In any case, we have a very interesting main topic to talk about today, and I'm going to tell you what it is. We'll touch on it just at the start, and then we'll get back to it at the end. Now, men, listen out. Meeting the 21 mark quota. Real, achievable, or impossible? What kind of quota is this? Over the week, a certain doctor was on a radio station, and he told about a very interesting fact. And this fact was that as men, we require at least to express ourselves 21 times a month. However,
to save
your prostrates.
Yes, that's the word.
He says when you don't use it,
it enlarges.
It enlarges, and that increases your risks of prostate cancer. So how to use it? Of course, if you're married, lucky you. However, women these days can be very, very busy as they're trying to take care of the home and also work. And they just don't have the time. So he advised that perhaps maybe you have side chicks. And that got the internet crazy. So how else can you meet your 21 mark quota? We'll let you know. But first, let's take a very short break. And when we get back, we get right into the thick of things here on the Black Table. We'll be right back.
You always take the bill on the first date, second date, and third date. Bro code.
And we're back. Welcome back. We cannot start the show without making this announcement that we know the next time we will be here, we'd already have won the AFCON Cup. So let's already say congratulations.
Congratulations to the Super Eagles.
Cheers to the Super Eagles.
In Jesus' name.
It's going to be a fantastic one. Wanted to make a reference to the previous match between Nigeria and Bafana. The boys. I'm not with the dragging of South Africans, Ghanaians, or Ivorians or Cameroonians, I think. Not with all the dragging. Man. It was, however, fun. I don't know if you guys thought it was a bit too much after that. Was it a circular?
The only thing I know is this. Make me sweat.
We took
I love Tyler so much. Now we've taken Tyler. Tyler is a Nigerian. Yeah.
What was it like for you seeing the match?
Oh man, it was
one of us.
It was a great feeling. It was a great feeling. I think, but somebody gave me some stats about how, when we met Ivory Coast in the group stage, to meet them again in the finals, the stats are not,
in our favor.
Are not in our favor.
Yeah.
And as a host nation as well. But I believe the Super Eagles will come out on top. But to beat South Africa, I think anytime we clash with South Africa, it's more than just football.
Yes, indeed.
It's more than just the game.
Yep.
There's a conflict. We're all trying to be giants of Africa. Bragging rights from music, culture, and so many other things. And piano and all those other sounds. There's so many things that Nigeria and South Africa are always at loggerheads.
Yeah. What I don't get, however, is how Ghana got into the dragging.
No, Ghana, those ones know they stay there, Lynn. I think if I was a Ghanaian, I would respect myself a lot. Ghanaians just don't know. They just don't get it. The Nigerians are professional trolls. Like, Outlookcom, and you still be coming at those people. It's not right.
They just find a way to troll Ghana.
We that were Nigerians, they trolled us before.
As Nigerians, we troll ourselves.
No, but if we had lost that match,
But here's what I think. Let's look at it statistically now. First off, about the Nigerian Bafana match. First off, I think that they were deliberately trying their best to get to the penalties, which they did. 90-second, was it 90-minute goal they scored?
Yeah.
And to them, they had won. In fact, if you ask me, I thought that we had lost. We hadn't tested our Thanos yet, our goalkeeper, what's it? Wabani, who has become the moniker for prophylactic right now. So if you're going to go buy prophylactics at the pharmacy, just ask for
Wabani.
Exactly.
The one I saw was the POS machine, current and Wabali, instead of savings.
Oh, nice. Now, that's what I thought about that match. However, for the Ivorians, that we had met them, they had lost. And chaos was what they experienced in Ivory Coast. They were trolled, they were attacked, there was violence. I think that they had that pressure on them. Hence, they had to start performing after that match. Now, think about them coming with that energy on us as in the finals.
You know, if I'm being honest, as a football fan, I don't think the Nigerian national team has played exceptionally well throughout the tournament.
Facts.
I think we've been extremely fortunate for us to win the games we've won. When you look at football and you look at what it takes to win football, the South Africans really played really well. They played really well. When we played against the previous team, Angola, the same thing. We can't even string like 6-7 passes together at once. But I think what is really helping the Nigerian team out is that we've got fantastic individuals. I mean, players who can make a difference, in a second, just change, the narrative of the game. And that's what has helped us so far. But as a team, I've not seen anything to go like, oh, the team plays.
We were initially at risk when we heard that Osimhen might not be playing.
Exactly.
And it seemed like as if we had everything on his shoulders. Without Osimhen, we might not be winning. I don't know if
I think the Nigerian team so far has just been based on individual brilliance. It's just individual brilliance. They've not played together as a team. Like, when a team is playing. But, I mean, it got us to the finals. It don't matter.
It's all good.
The result doesn't matter.
Once again, we hope that we do win. It will be a good thing for Nigerians at this time because we're going through too much. That little piece of joy, camaraderie,
and
friendship, bragging right all across Africa, we need it right now. So hopefully they don't let us down, and I'm sure that they won't. Congratulations in advance, all Nigerians. And Ghanaians, you can take some of that as well. It's all good. We know that you'll be supporting us.
But those ones will be praying that we lose now.
No, they can't. They can't go the way of Ivory Coast. We're brothers. We're brothers. We're brothers. Listen, gentlemen, let's get to the thick of things for today. Of course, we know why we are here as men. Is this not why you are here? Will you not be entertained? Well, let's entertain you. Interesting story. Two ladies on a podcast talk about this very interesting story of her sister, a sister, who, a very churchish sister who gets married to this brother, a very, very religious brother, who sees her. Now, let me get this straight for you now. They're two sisters. One is seen as wayward, the other one very churchish. Now, this churchish lady gets married to a brother in church who sees her as golden epitome of everything that's righteous, and always brags about her while he looks down on the other sister. The other sister, by the way, has a kid, a 5-year-old. Now, the husband, or rather the lady, had only just become quite religious herself over the past 4 years. However, there is a secret that hadn't been told. And here's the secret. That the 5-year-old that her sister calls son actually belongs to the married sister.
The married sister.
Her husband, however, does not know that kid is from his wife, his new wife, from a different relationship.
Yeah, so you left one part out.
Well, what's that?
The fact that the wife had some sort of operation done to tighten a vulva.
I was going to talk about that in another story.
The husband now thinks he married a virgin, so it's like two.
Let me expatiate on that. There's a certain.
No, but that's enough ground for divorce, though. Let's
deception. Yeah, there's a certain procedure which I was privy to when I was 26 in Abuja. I told you about this evening.
Yes, you did. You did.
Why are you laughing? I haven't even.
Why are you laughing? Me and Zeno are very tight.
Okay. Okay.
We're very close.
Here we go.
Okay.
Now, in Abuja,
And
a
it
certain lady had
begins.
told me of a procedure that women go through. They're flown out of Nigeria to, I think, Egypt, or is it Lebanon, where they have their organs tightened up surgically. They're brought back home and presented to their betrothed husband so that the ritual of that first night and getting virgin is, you know...
The illusion.
Yeah,
Since they occur.
an illusion. So that happened in this case as well. However, what do they do? She's now asking, should she tell this man who looks down on me that, listen, this my son is actually your wife's son, and she's not the glowing epitome of righteousness that you thought?
So to what end, though? Like, what
Yeah,
are you
exactly.
what are you hoping to achieve?
Yeah.
Why are you so fixated on how he sees
yeah.
you? That's another individual. And it doesn't matter how he sees you. Okay, he thinks you are wayward, so be it, man. But, bro, now your house is fire, they burn.
Yeah. In
One
fact,
day,
the way I
eventually
even see it, Seth,
No, so, but why? So, like, why would you want to tell him? You just want to burst your sister's bubble.
so yes, the sister might not be who she claims to be, but I don't think it's a place.
It's not in that place. No, it's not.
First things first, she made a choice to play the mother
Along.
of the
So
other
just take
child,
it like
understand?
that, man. Yeah.
And since that's the case, and leave it like that.
Leave it like that.
So if somebody else comes in and says, "Oh, yeah, I know about the real story. We know this isn't your child, and yes, it's different," then you can now go like, "Okay, it didn't come through me."
No, but I
It's
think the guy
happened,
deserves to know, though. But
yeah,
it shouldn't
he does
come from her.
deserve to know.
He does
But it
deserve
shouldn't
to know.
really
What do
come
you think
from
the
her.
impact is going to be on the
Disaster, man.
It will just disaster. How the sun will shine the next day. Never
No,
will still take
when
light.
I say Nepa
So-
will take light for it.
I want to
No,
come from
bro.
a different angle.
Yeah.
You always do.
Yeah. You know, see?
You like to.
I think to an extent, the guy doesn't deserve to know because of how he's already treating the sisters.
He doesn't deserve to.
You're already condemning one sister, assuming that her lifestyle is this way and the one you're with is the perfect one. So live in that bubble.
living that
You
life.
get where I'm coming
So you
from?
think he should never know?
You should never know.
What about the
Why?
impact on the child? Eventually, when he gets to
Because,
find
yeah,
out
we
that
need
my
to talk about
auntie
the child.
is my mother,
Yeah.
and my
See,
father
when the
is
child
not my father.
when the child gets of age to know that, that's a different story completely. But for the man himself, why are you already condemning the sister
That third guy now.
So,
they always do.
I think it's
and feeling
already-
as if the one that is his
it
is
doesn't
a
really
I married a
matter what
virgin.
the man thinks about the sister or what the woman has done. I think it's a failed system already because from the very beginning, the relationship has started based on lies
Deception.
and full deception. As much as I'm not really game for her going out to tell the sister like, or telling the husband like, this your wife isn't perfect, I still feel that even if she decides to hold back that information and not share it, it's going to be a failed marriage because once you lie about something, more is going to come out eventually.
So
It
why
depends.
would this break this relationship? Why would this break this marriage if it's because it's the lady? But then again, in Nigeria, we have a system where
I can tell you why it's
where,
break it.
where when it's the husband who has a
Men,
kid from
we
outside.
like to make certain choices knowing what we're going into.
Yeah.
So if the man chose to be with her knowing that she's not a virgin, knowing that she has a previous child by
that's his
another relationship,
choice.
that's
Yeah.
his choice.
But what I'm saying is this: because it's the lady now, it's making news. But men, countless men here in Lagos, here in Nigeria, have
children.
issues from other relationships
Yeah.
outside of marriage that they do not bring forth when they're getting.
Well, this is- 'cause it's
like
different.
as if the system is
a double
It's a
standard.
double standard. Okay,
I think more and
years
more
from after
men-
getting married, a man comes up and say, "Darling, I'm sorry, but I didn't tell you this in the beginning, but I have a son." We kind of like saying, "It's okay. Oh, that's my husband's son from another marriage."
It's
we look
never
down on
okay,
it when
actually. It's never okay.
To the extent that this lady had to mask the entire instance.
But I think it was.
And
I
entire
think
existence of
it
the
was
child.
okay in the past, but I don't think you can get away with it anymore.
Not now.
Not in
Not
this,
now.
Not in 2024.
So where do we stand based on what you don't know won't kill you?
I think that everybody
'Cause he
deserves to
doesn't know.
See,
No, but I think everybody deserves to know. the
I
truth,
think we're missing one thing here. If there are children involved, you really need to lay all the cards on the table. You need to be able to say, okay, you know what, this is me. It's either you take me for who I am,
Exactly, and if
or
I'm
you
gonna,
know,
facts.
or you let it be.
If you're going
No,
to be with
because-
someone and their only issue for not wanting to be with you is because you had a kid from a previous relationship,
And
then you
guess
guys have no
what?
business
There
being
are
together.
relationships and marriages like that in today's world whereby the man will go like, okay, you know what? I know you have a daughter or you have a son.
Yeah, it's
I'm going to
okay.
take you for... Or if it's not going to happen, you know what? I love you. I don't want this child. So you know what? Let this child stay with your mother or your father or whatever. It's a choice. If she likes it, if she wants to move forward, there's a choice, there's an agreement. But the fact that there's a lot of deceit in
around
here,
it, yeah,
it's still going to
exactly.
fail.
Yeah.
It is-
I'm with you on that.
We'll come back to that one, but we have other interesting stories and the main juicy story. But first, this is off of Secret Place Wife. Now, interesting story here. Let me read this word for word. Good morning, madam. She sends a request. How are you doing? Please, can you help me share with the group? So I'm married now, and my husband and I are in a long-distance relationship, but my papers are in progress, and I will be joining him soon. The issue here is that most times I fantasize about sex most of the time with him, her husband, and I end up masturbating with him in my mind. Because of time difference, sometimes it's not convenient for phone sex. So we just talk normally and have normal conversations because of people that may be around. I want to ask, is it a sin for me to fantasize about sex and masturbate with my husband in my head? I have a lot of questions. One question is the stigmatization of masturbation. Religion has made it seem like it's bad to touch what is even your own and seems natural that your body requests you to do.
Choking the snake.
So, why is that so, is my question. Not just Christianity, other religions as well.
See,
Well, maybe I should ask what your view is. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
What is your view on masturbation?
I think masturbation is very natural. It's very human. And I keep saying this for those who care to listen. I don't think God will put certain urges in the human body for you not to be able to do it. I think it's that simple. Even from religious point of view, it's like how women ovulate every month, and then at that point in time, they want to mate. Is that a sin? It's not, because it's biologically in your system. I remember I was sharing the story of when I was, going through puberty, and I was freaking out because I didn't know what was going on. Does that make me a sinner? No, it's natural. And when it comes to masturbation, I can bet it, out of 10 people, 9.5 they've tried it, they've done it.
8 are perhaps.
And that's why I always tell people that there's no virgin in the world. If you can spank the monkey, you've done it.
If she's married, they live
No,
apart.
your views on masturbation first.
I don't really subscribe to religion like that. I'm more of like a rational person. Yes, I believe in God, but all these doctrines and dogmas, they make life completely unlivable. This is a woman that has been sexually active. She's married, but due to economic circumstances, husband is in one place, she's in another place. You are going to have those urges. You're a human being, of course. What are you supposed to do with it? Bottle it up. You find release.
As in,
it's just what it is.
I'm going to tell us a very funny story you told me.
It's just what it is.
Gang,
all right, gang.
The craziest.
No, let that story chill first. There was something Olamide said that I want to counter.
Oh, okay.
There's an artist, I can't remember his name, one crazy American rock star that was trying to get an
It's not
operation
Drake, though.
to take out ribs so that he could
Give
suck his
himself-
own, give his own.
Yeah.
So where do you draw the line
Wow.
in terms of masturbation? That
You
want
mean
to
if
do
the
that
guy is
to
sucking
yourself?
his own, sorry.
Yes.
If the guy is getting
That's
his
what you're
his
fixated
wet.
on. Come on.
You get where I'm coming from.
What's my own point? It's his body.
Okay, but
It's his body.
did you
see,
tell what your view of masturbation
So
is?
my view on masturbation is there's a thin line, there's a gray area where it depends. Where I
Drake
feel-
did it on his
where I feel
private
it
jet.
should be allowed. Do you understand? It should be allowed, especially if it's going to result to you being with somebody else. If it's going to result to you being unfaithful, you stepping outside, then I think, me personally, I feel it'll be better for you to masturbate.
Do you know how I actually see masturbation? Yeah. For me, it's like somebody using the restroom. It's a private thing. It's no one's business, and that's why no one will ever, except it's an agreement between both of them, see themselves do it. It's a private moment, and
But
the reason
some
why
people
it's
take
private.
it to an extreme.
No, the reason why
People
it's
get
private
addicted
is
to
because
it.
so yeah, people get
you have
addicted
to
to all
define
sorts of things.
addiction, but I'll come
People
to
get
it.
addicted to all sorts of things. But I'm saying that this particular one, the fact that it is a biological thing,
A biological urge.
it's there. It's there. There's nothing you and I can do
When
about
did you
it.
first masturbate?
I think when I was maybe in GS1 in secondary school.
So it wasn't like as if you saw anybody do it; it just came natural.
No,
You
it's
were trying to
instinct.
No,
identify it.
it's instinctive.
It's very instinctive.
Like you're trying to
nobody
your
teaches
body,
you.
like when you're going through that process now, you're trying to find out what's going on with your body. And guess what?
Femi,
Everyone
when
would
did
have
Yes,
you first? When was the first?
one, I'm sure. I'm sure it was yes.
You're sure it was yes? When was it for you?
What makes you think I've ever done it?
Come on, mate. Mate,
What
come
makes you
on.
think I've ever done it?
We're being honest. We're being honest.
To be honest, I'm a master at debating. I'm just that's a joke. That's a joke. To be honest, can I be honest with you? So here's the thing. I think it was around my JS. I had an experience in my JS classes that was very weird. And ever since then, to be honest, it was kind of like a turn off for me. For me, it's weird to see myself doing it again. It's something like I'm like, why am I making myself do this when there are people out there that can cater to that?
If there ever was a time when I don't believe you, gang,
no, but I experienced it when I was young, and it was awkward.
I
but
believe
it was
everything
weird.
you say. I
Listen,
respect you. I believe everything you say,
it
but
was
not this
weird.
one.
No, but you know,
for me,
masturbation is the reason why a lot of marriages are still together.
as an adult,
all this is what everybody
as
does
an
before.
adult, you get me? As an adult and as a married man, I ask myself, why should I bother when I have the source to cater to that?
We're not talking about... So the thing is this. According to this particular story, this woman is married, her husband is away. And we're talking about what happens in a lot of lives. Individual lives. I mean, there are a lot of young men.
wow.
See, I graduated from University of Lagos, and I call a lot of Unilag boys wankers. Because you can't afford
Because you guys
to date.
are.
No, it's the truth now. A lot of Unilag boys couldn't date.
Straight
They couldn't date.
Let me share something. Right? Let me share something right now.
That's the story.
No, not the
Are
story.
you going to say the truth?
But
Is he going to say the truth?
What I'm about to share is quite awkward, and I hope Madame doesn't kill me for this.
Okay.
My wife once asked me whether do I always think of her when we're making out? Do I always have her in mind when we're engaging in this kind of activities? Do you understand?
How do you answer that? How do you answer that, though?
And I stupidly said the truth.
What's the truth?
What is the truth?
The truth is not always.
Oh, bro.
Do you understand?
Man.
And just my defense was like,
Gang has redeemed himself.
now I
He's
said
redeemed
stuff
himself.
like sometimes maybe you remember you're going through stuff, so you remember a
you
scene
go
from.
calm?
Wait, you remember a scene from Sharon. Here's the thing. I said you remember a scene from Sharon Stone, or you think of a Beyonce, or you think of somebody out there that's hot. You think of people that you have fantasized about.
The secretary in the office.
To help you.
Yeah.
No, you don't think about people that are close by.
I was trying to get you.
People that you know that are not within reach, that are not accessible. That was my excuse. You think about people that are not accessible.
No, but how did I end, though?
It didn't end well.
I didn't
I had to redeem myself for a couple of months. But you get where I'm coming from. So she gave me the perception that a lot of women don't think about other people. They think
But
about
they do, though.
who they are. Then some do.
Yeah.
But I'm like, for guys,
No, but so
sometimes you fantasize about other people, which is not wrong. In this situation, this woman is fantasizing about her husband.
Her own husband.
And it's touching her
No, but that's what she
so
said,
there's nothing wrong.
That's what she said.
That's what she said, because maybe that's the only experience she has. But I see nothing wrong in this. Do you expect to go and be with another man?
When does it become an addiction? You said something about addiction. When
Now,
is it an
addiction is not that. Let me share the story. The addiction sometimes...
Guys. Hey,
Now-
camera on gang, not on me, on gang.
I was telling about a story that happened in a certain school, a higher institution,
is gonna kill you.
whereby a lot of
I'm already
students
laughing.
gathered and were trying to submit forms to register matriculation and all of that stuff. And then there was this guy that was being trampled on by so many women, and he was just feeling different body parts pressing him, and he couldn't hold it anymore. And suddenly he felt this urge he thought it was an urge that was going to make him pee, but it was another urge. So he quickly brought out his tool, and it was now all over the place. So he was now leaking on other people close to him. And people were, what's going on? What is touching me and spraying me? So the guy actually ejaculated in the midst of people. And in fact, when they were trying to revive him, he didn't have the energy. He was like, I'm so sorry. He didn't have the energy to. It was crazy. He said that he couldn't explain it. Because something natural took over him, and he didn't know what it was. He hadn't experienced this urge before, and he didn't want to pee in his trousers. So that was what happened then, and it was a very awkward situation. So in terms of,
sprayed everything.
so the thing is, that aspect of nature that you're talking about should be able to be controlled.
Okay.
That's what the addiction
Since
comes
we've
in.
identified that it's absolutely natural.
But that has nothing to do with addiction.
identified
No?
that
But after that, the person now enjoys feeling that urge. Enjoys engaging in that
that's
act.
an addiction.
And then all of a sudden, in public, in private, anywhere you are, I've heard of situations where somebody in a bus could not control himself because of some of the people that he was seeing in the bus or were pressing
addiction
against
is
him.
when whatever habit you have takes, when your consideration for other people takes backseat over your habits.
Yeah.
If it affects other people wrongly, then it's a bad thing. But now that we've identified that urge is natural, why is it so stigmatized that this poor lady has to ask somebody else whether it's a sin?
No, it's just religion.
She asked if it was a sin. She didn't ask if it was right or wrong. So it's attached to religion.
So there's a difference between right, wrong, and a sin.
Yeah. Okay. Because when you, like, I had this conversation with some colleagues, and we were talking about, I was talking about how in this life, two people are not made to be paired together, meaning that if this one person doesn't work, there are thousands of people out there. Like, biologically, you can be attracted to as much people as possible. The fact that you're with one person is a choice, and it's a choice of discipline. It's not a choice of maybe somebody else wouldn't want to be with you or whatever. And that's why society comes in. That's where laws comes in. That's where engagement across religion comes in. And, you know, they found it like, you know, they were arguing and all. I'm saying it's not really an argument. It's just what I feel, because every now and then I see a woman who's attractive that is not my wife. I can see it's there. Do I chase after? Do I go and engage?
That's where discipline comes in.
That's where the discipline comes. And I said it's the same thing with women. And they were arguing. I'm like, no, married or not, you can't tell me that your husband is the only person you've ever found attractive or you find attractive. I can bet it in a week you see more than 10 people. You're like, ooh, he's hot. And it's the truth.
Okay, still didn't answer the question about
And
why
that's why
it's a
you
sin,
masturbate.
Me?
Yes.
But let's let that go.
I don't need to.
Hey, bad guy!
I think we need to take a very short break so we can regroup and fill our glasses all over again. And then when we get back, there's still one
would there
more
be
topic.
enough time to masturbate? Let's quickly rub one out before we come back.
Can we just go?
Oh my
I can
God.
actually do it behind the bar.
As a guy, when it comes to every decision you're taking, ask yourself, who am I and how is this going to impact on my person? Bro code. You always take the bill on the first date, second date, and third date. Bro code.
Always treat your bros the way you want to be treated. Bro code.
You know, I think we should change it from the mayor of Agungi to the Don Corleone.
Or
of
see
Agungi.
Barone.
You actually look the
Send
part.
me that clip.
You look the part. All right, so we still got our main topic, which is filling the 21 mark quota for men when it comes to, what do we call it now? Expressing yourself, like I said from before. But
Saving our lives.
One, saving your life.
Our
Exactly.
lives.
Your life. Let's talk about this one. It's on Linda Ikeji's blog. This is an entry from Olumo of Derby. He says, it's unfair how some Nigerian women are treating some Nigerian men once they get outside of the country, especially to the UK. You both make good plans from Nigeria for a better future, but once you get to the UK, you just don't care anymore. Jackpot love is a big scam. So many men are depressed. There was a lot of response that came through that about how women, after they've gotten outside the country, start to treat their men. In fact, it went on, and people started making submissions about how women fall out of love with their husbands and find white guys interesting instead. So is this a thing? I do not know, because I haven't moved my family outside the country, but I'm very sure that this will not happen. In any case, how prevalent is it? Okay, you want to go?
So I think for me, when I hear it, although it's scary, because when I think about it, I know like 13 different people that have relocated, and in the past 5 years. only 3 are still married. So
Oh wow, so that's real. That's real.
So it's very, very. But it's funny because I always just see it as, I mean, you guys decided that you're going to do this thing together. Why do you flip on each other? Like, it's funny. And in about 2 or 3 of them, it was actually the guys that decided that I'm not doing it again. But although more women than men say, man, look, I'm not. I think it's just, I think there's something in their broad air that they perceive like, I'm not this person again. And I think men actually also need to understand that you would forever and ever be loved and appreciated by what you do and what you provide. And usually, the scales of marriage are never equal. One person carries more weight than the other. As much as possible as a man, try, even if you don't want to, try to make sure that you're carrying more weight than you most probably should when you're abroad. Because once the scale balances, everything changes. Everything changes. A friend of mine was a secretary of a company in Nigeria. His wife went to the UK. This was before everybody started traveling. She went to the UK to do masters, and he didn't want the family to break. He was with the kids, so he decided, you know what, I'm gonna quit my job, move over there to go and be with you. I mean, he got there. He couldn't really get any great job like that, so he was just doing all these menial jobs here and there. She finished her masters, and all went well. She got a good job. And one day, I think that was like a year after she started working, she looked him in the face and told him that she's not attracted to him anymore.
Yep. Okay.
And 5 years on, the guy never recovered.
Wow.
Sorry, I need to take a page from what you just said. You know, this is something that people don't really talk about, but happens in every marriage when you lose that attraction.
You reinvent.
It's
The
easier
only
said.
way you can reinvent as a
said.
man, the only way you can reinvent as a man is to always make sure that you never fall off. And when you say, people say things like, oh, this guy is misogynistic, oh, this guy is a narcissist, but women love men they can admire. The guy's wife, in my own opinion, this is, I don't know if that's what happened, but I feel like, okay, so the guy was doing probably a couple of minutes, doing like 3 or 4 different jobs.
That's not the person she married.
Exactly.
One. But she forgot that he became that person because he wanted to keep the family together.
Yeah.
Now, now she sees boys in the city wearing suit and tie, going to work.
That's what she's attracted to.
And that's why I always say that as a man, what the woman loves about you, most times she wants to change ultimately. And if you let that happen, she'll lose attraction for you.
Yeah.
True.
Balance. Just balance.
I also feel.
Okay.
I also feel that one of the reasons why most people go apart. I've got about 7 friends that relocated with their families, and as I speak right now, maybe about 2 are still together. The rest are separated.
It's just what it is.
And it's very alarming. It's very bad, and I feel it's a culture shift because a lot of times people make these plans together. They want to get over there, do the whole family thing, and they realize that they're running a race that they can't keep up with. The wife is having different shifts, the husband's having different shifts. In actual sense, they are never really together. Yeah. Because it's a race of survival, and most importantly, most times it's about the kids rather than their relationship. What that happens is that one tall, dark, and only guy comes into the picture most times. Yes, it's the truth.
Let me add to what you're saying.
Yeah, real quick again, because we're
Let me add
to
to
the
what
main
you're
topic.
saying now. There was something Femi has said often about how, I can't remember the right words, but it's like, you're as faithful as your options.
Of course. Of course.
You get me? And that happens for both men and women.
Women, yes.
When a man gets to a certain level of success or finances and sees what he is actually, the pool that he can actually pull from.
this pool.
Do you understand? If he's not disciplined, his taste can change. And same for women as well.
Exactly.
So when you're exposed to that, even culturally, and you now feel as if there's certain levels of freedom, you have access to these people, it's crazy. In this kind of situation, the only thing the guy can do is succeed.
And just add to what you're saying, yes, even with whether you succeed or not, you see, when they take out the religious barrier out of a lot of things, it changes. A lot of times, certain women, and they fall under the, I have to do this because this is what I'm expected to do as a Christian or as a Muslim. But you get into a society whereby they don't really care about your religion, they don't care about your background.
Out the window.
People are, then you now say, wow, this world is different.
Here's the thing. You can work on yourself, not for your partner, but just for yourself. You can get in shape. You can make more money. You can change the way you dress. You can tell your wife that has
But
said she's not attractive
guess
to you
what?
to
There's
leave.
something I
when
keep
she sees
saying,
you have moved on. Some people, when they see you have moved on,
there's something
they
I
come
keep
back.
saying, and I'll keep saying it, and it's going to get me into trouble. But you see, that your beautiful wife out there, you are not the only one seeing that woman.
True, true.
So if you're not upping your game or whatever, there are plenty of tall, dark, and honey ready to take over.
This tall, dark, and horny has this like it's your.
And tall, dark, and honey, and wears glasses.
You kind of smart. You wear glasses too. You're darker than I am. In any case, guys, I have so many things to talk about this, to tell about this, but I'll save it for when you send in your comments. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on Use the hashtag TheBlackTable on TBC.
No, but at the
Nigeria
same
is what
station,
I
they
do
pay
in
the
the
bill
morning. Yeah,
So it's okay.
my apologies, but the Black Table
Imagine that
on
was
TBC.
another station.
It'll never happen.
You don't lose your job.
In any
Use
case,
the hashtag WakeUpBlackTable.
all right, let's move on to our main topic now, guys. Are you ready? So,
I'm not ready.
Wait.
21 times no go. It's
it
no
was a
beans.
conversation between two professionals, one a broadcaster, the other a doctor, on Nigerian radio station.
Yeah.
And where the doctor gave a very strong argument about the use or disuse of your prostrate. Well, he was actually talking about the act of getting coitus. Am I being too cryptic? Sex for men, and how it saves lives. Saves lives because if you don't use your prostrates, what happens is that it enlarges and eventually you get cancer. So he advised that as men, you need a minimum of 21 ejaculations a month to be able to stay safe and fall off of that risk. However, he also noted that most of his patients don't have partners who can help them fulfill this quota. And he advised that he, or rather his patients, have options. Side chicks. He was very blatant about it. Have a side chick so that you can fulfill that quota 21 times. He came under fire because women in Nigeria were like, how dare you say you get a side chick because you want to... And I was wondering, well, is that the only option other women... And this brings back one of our previous topics about masturbation. Couldn't that also, need a woman to actually...
add to what you said, it also talks about the fact that sex is a form of cardio. So spanking the monkey is not cardio. So what he's really saying is that you need to be physically active. You need to work the muscles. You need to, you know, let the monkey do his thing. So yeah, that's out of it.
Have you seen this guy? Have you seen how he... We don't know what's happening behind there. Rigorous is the word.
What do you say?
Gang stuff on TV. Gang on TV.
All right. Once again, I'm coming from a different angle. Like
Always.
You know that little video, that meme where you have that little white boy saying bullshit? I'm on that note. I'm trying to support my women here. Men often find a way to justify their promiscuity. If that makes any sense.
And he was aiding it, the doctor.
And he was aiding it. Dude, our fathers before us, people before us, have lived and died, have come and gone, no pun intended. But at the same time, if women were to gather and say women need to have this amount of sex in order to stay alive or live long, we would find a way to condemn that. So at the same time, it's just like breast cancer. Somebody might say, oh, to avoid breast cancer, do this, blah, 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 blah.
You can say it,
And women can come out and say, if my husband is not touching my breast, I should find another guy to be enjoying my breast. Let's forget this thing that we're trying to focus that you want to live long. So you should have a side chick or ejaculate 21 times a month.
No,
Which guy can physically do that?
No, but that's not what he said.
You're taking it out of context.
The guy said you need 21 ejaculations a month to ensure that all is well.
Yes.
Now, he didn't say...
So he suggested getting side chicks.
No, he said...
He never spoke about masturbation.
Let's listen. No, he didn't. That was an option that I raised.
So, if your significant other cannot, you should get... That's what he said.
Yeah,
and the reason why he said that is because masturbation is not cardio. Let's be honest.
He's cancelling out the options here.
So, it's not an
cardio,
option.
yeah.
It's not cardio. Because you can just sit down and...
How we can do this on TV is
You
beyond
have
me.
to be... So, in all honesty, and then you said something about our forefathers. Those people had 3, 4 different wives. That's why they didn't have to deal with prostate cancer. The King of England just got diagnosed with the same thing. He obviously wasn't getting 21 days.
So
21 times, yeah.
He wasn't.
it comes down
He
to
wasn't.
this. It comes down to one thing. Are you ready to die for the woman you
Okay,
love?
so let me give you a bit of medical fact here. The fact is that when most men pass at good ripe old age, often during autopsy, it is discovered that most men above 70 actually have a level of prostate issues,
Yeah,
but it has not manifested to the point where it becomes a problem.
because
So
they were
it is-
constantly.
No, not that they were constantly, but the point is that
So it's going to eventually
that it
live
was going to
longer.
that men are prone to
Yeah.
actually have
Yes.
enlarged prostrates.
Yes.
The older that we get.
Yes.
So because
What
our
about, men,
forefathers
what about reverend fathers that never get married? What about men that live at old ages?
Well, they have
is,
scandals
how
in
old is
churches
the,
with
how
boys
old
now,
is the
don't they?
Pope?
No, all of this now makes us realize that those people are not telling us the truth. Let's just say it as this, because if you have not,
I
He
didn't,
could
think of,
almost.
I didn't think of that, but
No, but
Femi,
it's just- no,
please.
bro, it's just what it is now.
No, he has a point.
It's
But
just
what
what
I'm
it
saying,
is.
if we say that certain men abstain from sex throughout their lifetime,
And none of them
Okay,
have
and they
okay.
die at
prostrate.
old
You know,
ages.
there's something we're doing. We're trying to mix the moral
aspect of
aspect of things with the medical. This is a medical doctor who, from research, has come out to say, you know what?
Preserve the
Scientifically
most
proven.
Healthy men at least should have sex at least 21 times in a month. It is
Not have
scientifically
sex, they
proven.
should ejaculate
ejaculate
21
21
times.
Which is sex.
It's not
Is
sex.
it
It's
every
sex.
time you
It's
have
sex.
sex, you...
It's a sex. Let's
That
call
guy
it what
doing
it is.
matriculation was not sex, so you were just jerking on 21 people. But
Okay, so going back to what I was saying, it is sex. And this is scientific. Can't stop
You
looking
love
at me
it.
that way.
the problem, let me tell you the problem I have. The
Stop
problem
looking
I
at me
have is
that
that if women come out with
No,
science
No, wait,
that says
wait
women
now,
need
guys.
to get this
So
thing,
we're
Let-
not.
let- let
So
me
do you
land.
know that there are a lot of men out there who are suffering from prostate cancer?
Yeah.
Loads of men. In fact, over the last couple of years, it's become one of the biggest issues when it comes to cancer. And yes, it might sound funny. Yes, he might have suggested something that
So
society
you're
will
with the
frown
doctor
upon.
then? You're
Of
saying
course,
you're with
I
the
am.
doctor.
I am.
So
Because
on the
if
side
there's-
chicks aspect.
maybe not
You're
on the
stammering.
side chicks aspect. No, I'm not stammering. I'm just saying that. See, you know what? We need to look at this as a blessing for most marriages. Because a lot of marriages are not even having sex.
Bro.
So this will...
Yeah. So if someone is telling you that medically, you know, if you're not giving your husband this,
adequate, yeah.
and you know, this is what is most likely going to happen. I think it's there because I remember the interview. They asked him that, okay, what if the partner can meet up with, you
And
know,
then he
providing,
suggested.
and he suggested, well, you can have a side chick.
So you guys, funny enough, 3 days before this thing went viral, I can't remember what I was doing on my Instagram stories, but
you are wanking. Keep going.
I can't remember what I was doing on my Instagram stories, but it got to this where I said, I realized that I really can't remember how I got to that point, but it was a case of somebody asking me, oh, do you think everybody have sex like that, like that? I'm like, yeah, people should. I mean, if you're married, you should. And then the lady told me that, ask your followers how many of them have sex and how often do they have sex. And the result of that poll was shocking to me.
And what was the result, please?
Bro, so I was like, I was of the opinion that at least once a week. Oh, yes, it came from this show. I think we had said something about it
Yeah,
the
we
week
did.
before.
Yeah.
Yep. So I was like, once a week is normal. Like, once a week is normal, right? And then I can count, without even trying to remember now, at least 10 or 12 different people that said they've not had sex in 1 year. Married people.
Married, imagine.
6 months, I can't count. 3 months was majority. Once every 2 weeks, minority. Once a week was maybe like 2%.
So it's an epidemic.
It is. As in, let's just say it as it is. And then 3 or 4 days later, everybody started sending me this post that, this is what you were saying. This was because so there's a tailor that used to live on my street. The guy got married at like 36 or 37. He died when he was 40. He had prostate
that's
cancer.
sad.
He got married as a virgin. So he obviously had never...
As a virgin, huh?
So the
Emma.
bank don't fool.
Bro.
So, you know, sometimes maybe
They must.
maybe because I'm not so religious like that, I try to tell people that, you know, you need to look at things the way it is. if you look at how God created other creatures, animals and all of that, there's a reason why they have their mating seasons and all that.
Exactly.
But we've turned into super intelligent, creatures whereby
and we think we can control
we
nature.
can control certain things.
You can't.
There are certain things that are just natural. They're there. They're placed
on
in
that
us.
basis, on that natural, Gang said something. He said it's unnatural for. You asked how many men can actually do that.
21.
Yeah.
I think.
And it got me curious. Are you saying that there's a limit to how many times you can perform so?
Yeah, especially, and this might sound like I'm supporting the doctor, but sometimes with the same partner, how often can you say, a month on the average is 30 days. So what we're saying is that for 3 weeks, you should be able to ejaculate. Do you understand? At some point, for some men, they would find it hard to consistently deliver 21 times every
There's a solution
month.
to it now.
So the solution is,
please.
now one thing with men, and I'm sure you can all agree, sometimes when a third party is involved, you get the urge. You get the urge.
Focus.
No, you get stimulated to go on.
So what are you implying, bro?
No, I'm trying to say, no, this will sound like I'm supporting the doctor.
It doesn't sound like it. You are.
The thing is, it's a struggle. Hey, you're going to be married for the rest of your life. 20 years, 25, 30, 40, 50, a long time. Imagine ejaculating 21 times.
I'm not going to tell you the mistake a lot of married people make.
Do you know
I
how
need to
hard
let you
that
know.
is?
No, it's
Can
not
you
hard.
eat
It's
the
not
same
hard.
meal in your house 21 times in a month?
You know the funny thing here? We're talking about science here. There's a reason why a certain company created the blue pill. It's because of issues like this.
Oh,
and
really?
See, men need to stop acting all, I'm a man, I can't do whatever. The truth is this: the older men get, the more they find it hard to get it up. That's a fact.
Because they
and
have
that's a fact.
and
the thing is, wait,
Well, the doctor said if you don't use it, it's going to go back.
Exactly, because
so
you are
that's
not
the
using
point.
it.
And I'm saying that if you're a married man and you think, you're going to keep this thing away from your wife because you're stressed or whatever, I can tell you for a fact
You're doing yourself.
that you are just messing yourself up because
How many times
one thought that
Bro,
can.
so one of the things that led to that.
how many times?
One of the things that led to that conversation was like, I don't understand how you will not twice in a week.
How now? And you say
Twice
you're
in a week,
happily
twice in a
married.
week.
How?
And everybody
4
was like,
weeks
how
a
you
month,
happily married?
Everybody was like, how do you do twice a week? And I'm like, in my own opinion, twice in a week gone, you're slacking.
Yes, now.
Because you're not
You're
yet at 21.
slacking. No, you're slacking. And then when I read this, I was like, aha.
So you're unhealthy 8 times. How many times in a month do you?
I know they do 21 times. So
you don't get to 21?
Right now, I go do 21 times.
You don't get to 21?
No, so I don't do it. I don't do it.
Do you get to 21?
All things being equal, I'll be dead by the end of February. All things being equal.
No, but guess what?
But do you know the funny thing? The way my wife is so freaking hot in my eyes, I swear I can shag her every day of the
So
week.
let me tell you guys something. One of the mistakes men make is they always have anything you set your mind to.
Oh, boy.
So once you're married, you always see sex as something that is always there.
Yeah.
And that's why you never do it.
I have to ask for a break because we have to go on a break, and we actually have to take your messages. It's going to be very short because we've got loads of them, and then we can revisit some of these issues that we've talked about. Let's do that break right now.
You always take the bill on the first date, second date, and third date. Bro code.
Oh, well, guys, calm down. Let's bring it back on the air. Let's do your texts. Thank you very much for sending them using the hashtag #TheBlackTable on TVC. We see them on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube as well, where you can see us live every single Friday from 11 o'clock. I'll do the quick ones real quick because we have a very long one here. Outlookcom, hey, what's up? Says, Mazino, hey, this is our first story, get us a view. Which one did we start with? Football? No, it wasn't football.
Football was the first story.
Yeah, I can't remember. But we'll clarify which one you were talking about. Susan says, it's her husband, though. She did not say with another man in mind, but her husband. Some people are holier than thou, I beg. Masturbate, they go, Jerry. She says, remember the story we talked about. And then this is Adbola, or is it Ebola? Says, this doctor, I am sorry to say, is an unprofessional, irresponsible medical professional asking men to have side chicks on national radio, Abina TV. She hisses, spells it out actually. Regarding that, was it actually professional for him to do that?
I don't think he
Bro, the guy
should
was
have given
concerned about
advice.
the guy was concerned about results. He didn't care the means. The means
I don't
can go and
think
die.
I really don't
Like,
think
just
as a
get the
medical
result, bro.
professional he should have suggested that. I don't think so.
So okay, are we saying if somebody else suggested that, would it have been okay?
So the thing is this:
No,
when you're giving,
I want you to
Sorry,
understand
Ken.
something. Sorry, this is not the first doctor to go on air
no,
on any media
I get
platform
it.
and say this. Other people have said this
Oh,
before
of course,
now.
yeah.
I follow a couple of pages because I'm trying to catch up to my 21. So I will tell you that this is not the only man that has said such. And the advantage he has as a professional, he can back it up with the research.
Of course, definitely.
If women want to
definitely.
go out there and learn more about prostate,
Prostrate.
they would understand where he's coming from.
But I'm not saying. I'm just saying that as a medical professional, you can state, "Oh, this is it." But as a medical professional,
Suggesting-
you can't suggest men taking on
Bro,
side
because it's
chicks.
immoral.
No, but the guy.
No,
No,
you
no,
can't.
no,
You
the
can't.
guy
The thing is,
interviewed-
He was
the
just
guy
talking about ways where
Yeah,
you
the
can
guy-
actually
no, but
check
the guy
it.
asked
I wanna hear
him-
from you, please.
asked him and said, "So what if they
The
can't?"
the
And they were
partner
like,
can't make
"Well,
up."
you can." I mean, it's just.
So-
So why are we hanging him for saying the truth, though?
Because the
Because we live
reality
in
of it
Nigeria.
is there are other medical issues, STDs, that can come with having multiple partners. It's that
Point.
simple. It's that simple.
Point.
That's where the discipline
Point.
comes in.
Point.
But
Olamide,
there is
wait,
referendum,
wait, wait. Let's put this to rest.
Oh, God,
Olamide
I'm
is
in
actually
trouble.
brilliant.
No, this is where he's very useless. This is his forte. His field of expertise.
Congratulations, man. All right, I'll got one more. Before a very long one. Says Joker here says, Mazino, help me ask Okwe where the records that were kept that our forefathers did not have prostate cancer. Who says with all their 4 to 5 wives they no get cancer? Because we no.
Okay.
You people are glorifying nonsense.
And she finished.
Yeah.
They are laughing for you. I can't remember what that man's name was. At the age of 70, he was still popping out babies.
Of course.
So that answers
Actively
that.
doing
Tell her
it.
to go and sit
Yeah.
down.
I have a very long
Take
text here.
several sit back.
Go and sit back.
Sit down.
Dolabomi spent 30 minutes writing this, so I have to read it. It says, Mazino, listen. Listen to this story. A male friend of mine sponsored his new wife abroad, the United States to be precise, and then asked her to submit all of her salary to him when she started working. Based on all the stories he has heard, it in turn gives her money that is barely enough to keep up baby girl life. Now, she complained, tried a side hustle, but when he found out about the side hustle, he threatened to report her to ICE, don't know what that is, because her papers weren't complete. This girl met a man during her lunch break 4 years later who she told her story, and that was the beginning of her freedom. He gave her courage to not give him her salary for the first month, and then the guy went ballistic on her. Of course, she left him, and he threatened fire and brimstone on her family back home. Now, this lady wasn't going to leave her husband, but this attitude towards her wasn't good at all. What happens in this situation?
So first off, I think that, and I will always say this, people have to love you for you, right? If you have to love someone because you are caging them, then that's not real love.
Exactly.
So if you have to take your wife abroad and then you tell her, because I don't want you to leave me, you need to give me all your salary, then
That's
there's
not love.
already a problem.
That's not love.
There's already a problem because you know that if you don't do that, she's not going to be there.
Yeah.
And do you really want to be with somebody like that?
Exactly.
Find your own person. First off, no human being has any right to cage another human being.
No.
Exactly.
Like,
Married or not.
Give me all your money.
Yeah.
What's the meaning of that? Like, guys should go and sit down, I beg.
Yeah, and the guy is just a very
It's disgusting.
funny human being.
And men like that, they always make me laugh because it's men like this that give other men bad names. Because in the real sense of the word, what happened would always eventually happen. It was just postponing the inevitable.
Yeah.
He knew that this woman would leave me.
And there's something I want to use. There's a word I want to use. The man has always been insecure. He's never been certain.
So I don't even like it. So that insecure word, of late, it starts to offend me because, in all honesty, we don't even know what the guy experienced in his marriage for him to have decided that. But I don't support saying, "Oh yeah, give me."
Yeah, you know, and there's a
That's
reason why I'm
slavery.
saying insecure.
That's
that-
slavery.
because a man who is not 100% certain
So
about
obviously,
his
I
stand
think-
in the
so I-
But
relationship.
security could be valued
you
and
can
all
see
that.
you
Yeah.
can see it from this angle. If the guy was getting 21 ejaculates a month, his perspective
Here we
on
go
things
again.
would change.
You're very excited
Bro.
about that main topic, though. Olamide, by the way, you're giving us a tip
Oh my
Let's
gosh.
not count that as part of your 21.
Oh my
However,
gosh.
so you're
21
giving us a
tips.
tip for today. But then again, regarding that 21, what's it called? Your final thought on it, real quick, please, gang.
My final thoughts are: it's hard to achieve, but do the best that you can. And ladies, please help out. Wives, help out.
Wives, be specific.
Wives, help out as much as you can. When you can't, there's hand and mouth to assist. Do
My
what you
final
gotta do.
thoughts, I have to get my numbers up. I don't know how, but
For
I
your
have to
preservation.
Bro,
I have to climb the charts.
I have to get my numbers up.
21 Savage.
21.
Let's get ready for our tip of the night. Just a tip, no shoulders.
Okay,
put
so
everything inside,
I'll
put
just try and make this quick as possible.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people laugh when we talk about things that are scientific and, research has proven. It's not funny. If, medically it's been proven that prostate cancer is a serious thing, I think both men and women should look at how to, find solutions to it. Like, breast cancer, any type of cancer, it's not a joke. And if you have to look for solutions, look for the right solutions. Come together, find a way, and then,
Or
make it
die,
happen.
nigga, die.
Because in the real sense of the word, if this were flipped and then it was like, oh, you have to suck your woman's breast to avoid breast cancer.
21 times.
If you don't suck her breast, all of us don't die now.
Yes, now.
So in the real sense of the word, let's help ourselves.
Yeah.
We all want to live long.
We don't want to die.
Nobody
We
wants
don't
to die.
want to die. We want-
Nobody wants-
Please help us. We don't want
Emma
to die.
Bikini,
Help
Sile.
you, help you, help you, help you, help
I
you.
have to ask you guys to okay, let's retrieve the phallus here. Thank you very much. It's been very interesting, but gang is so excited about our main
I don't
topic.
want to die.
days, bro.
Please.
What are
Even
your
if you
thoughts?
help
Why you
me,
begging zero?
somebody should help me.
Why are you begging zero?
Listen, this is what
'Cause
you
he
can
knows
do
that.
for us. I don't know anything. This is what you can do for us, yeah? This show is going to be on YouTube. You can go back on there and leave comments. On our next episode, especially about our main topic, and each time we're going to do this, we're going to go back to our previous main topic, and we're going to take your points from there, as long as you leave them under our YouTube post for this show. So, thank you very much, Apollo Femi. Thank you very much.
One more thing. One more
Olamide
thing.
And
Valentine is coming. Get your 21.
well, if you're
Get your
lucky,
21 up, yeah.
if you're
Get your
lucky,
21.
Yeah.
if you're lucky. Thank you very much for being a part of the Black Table, as usual, every single Friday night. This is the end of it. We always say, hey, thank you for being here. Good night, or is it good morning?